Hello and welcome. What is going on here in the Austrian Alps in Spielberg? It looks like it's raining. Oh God. Well, tricky conditions today, and we're going to see an Aston Martin out first on the track. I'm assuming that's going to be either Harry Jetters or Hayden Johnson. Hayden has had some awful luck in F3 this season. A lot of lap one retirements. We will ride on board with Hayden as he's the first driver on track. It looks to be inters all around. And we're seeing here in Austria 10 turns in total. It's tricky conditions here as we'll have a little look. And we're right on board with Hayden for his flying lap. The first as he skids around turn 10 there. DRS not open because we're in the raining conditions. Tricky and braking point around the 100 meter mark. Going through the tricky turn 1 can be very easy to lose the car here now. On the way up to this little kink that is turn 2, all the way up to turn 3 through the MotoGP chicane. Not used in F1. Now one of the most prominent braking zones on this track, which is turn 3. Many different ways to take this corner. You can take it wide and get a better exit when racing somebody. You can take it narrow and hit the apex. Now the second of our DRS zones, technically, or well, third depending. Now this off-camber right-hander, which is turn 4, now around 5. This is another tricky left-hander here, just goes slightly downhill. A lot of elevation changes in this track. Now into 6, normally you're taking this in 6th gear in the dry. A bit of a wobble there from Hayden. Now into turn 9 we go. Last part of sector 3, pit line, very important here. Pit entry is very tricky in this track as well. Around the last corner, oh! Well. We will ride on board with one of the kicks. As championship elect Leandro Verdade starts his lap. Billy Magnussen and his return to Aero goes provisional pole with a 112.546. That's 8 tenths faster than Robert Blow in his second race in Aero. Alex Theodore, who's recently somehow been promoted to a full-time seat. As Zeman Ivyanik goes P1 at the moment. Leandro going to be looking to make his mark here. So he goes through turn 4 right now. Turn 6 we go. And down to turn 7. Everyone looks to be right clean here. Not really using the battery though. I think as Hayden's done enough already. And that's going to be a 1:13 for our champion-elect. Not very fast. Normally expect much quicker than that for him. A few more drivers crossing the line now. A few drivers banging into the pit walls as well as Pierre Kukula comes back from a break away from Aero, and he goes straight into the pit wall. Samuel Newman now, after doing a race in Austria earlier today in a different league, is going to put himself on the front row. With a 112.118, and what on earth am I after seeing? What on earth am I after seeing with Liv now and Wasik? Well, it looked like Adam was on a lap, obviously, and Wasik just didn't get out of the way. Right. So anyway, moving on. That was a worthy 5-place grid penalty for that. That was atrocious. Edzak, F3 driver, he's racing up today to show us what he can do in the higher tiers. I'm just amazed by that. I'm just a bit stunned as Lucas and Mendelssohn have both said their first times. Mateusz Tofolinski, the 112.5. A lot of Polishmen in this tier. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Normally Lucas and Franiak 6. Wee Rabbi goes P2 now in the rain. Jetters though. Adam is not happy. Now Lucas Juraja going P1. It seems to be the track might be drying up as well because now times are dropping rapidly. Less sort of adapt the better. As we see Mateus come into the pit. I don't know what's going on with these pit entries today. Adam Bradshaw with a 112.9. Adam now coming into the pits. And Leandro though is not coming into the pits, and he's going to be setting a relatively quick time here. He gets just a little bit of a move on. It's not going to be near pole, but it's going to be P3 at a 111.922. Gustav Sherbert also must be said he's coming back. Another dodgy pit entry. Back racing with us after he's on a bit of a sabbatical. So who actually is on a lap here? It looks like Edzak is on a lap as he goes through turn 4. Can't really tell if the track is drying out or not. It doesn't really look all that much drier. But as he's the sector 2 at the moment, flying. Looking to get out of that bottom 3 that he's currently in is Lucas Jaraja. Goes even faster now. So great stuff from him. The Red Bull, who was not on Samuel Newman's radar during the week. Maybe he should have been. Newman, who said he wanted to beat Leandro and Powell. As Zeman now goes even faster. We're into the 110s. 2 drivers in there so far. Great stuff. As we have the terrorist Wasik on a lap here. And we have, I think, Mateus. No, not Mateus behind him. It must be Leandro. Who's gone P4 after his lap. So, lots of positions changing now. And Edzak did manage to get out of the bottom 3 up to P14. Callum Lyons serving his qualifying ban, not going to be setting a time with just under 8 minutes to go in qualifying. And apparently Wasik is set a purple sector 2, or is it purple sector 1? One of the two, whatever. As he goes around now, really throwing the car into turn 9 there, and around turn 10 we go. Loads of curb there on the inside. This is going to be close. It's going to be P4 with a 111.638. As Newman now rapidly improving as well. He needs to find a few more tenths though if he wants to challenge for P1. And Newman's going to go P3. It's going to be a good lap from him. It's going to be a good lap from him. And Adam Bradshaw is going to go P2 now as well, as he improved by nearly 1.7 seconds for P4. Great stuff from the Englishman. Next now, Pierre Kakula. He's not really improving. He's actually quite down on his time. And he's back out at the lap. Mentelson into the pits. Gustav marginally improving on his time. Needs to find nearly 2 seconds though if he wants to challenging for P1. So a lot of time to find there. Well, he has improved by over 7 tenths. This is looking good so far. At this rate, he'll be P8 in that ballpark. P8, P9. If he finds any more times, Alex Theodore sets his car into P7. Well, has he invalidated? He has in the last corner. Oh, that's horrible. That would have put him P5 as well. Disastrous for the German. Hayden Johnson has managed to get into his car and is improving on his time as well. With just about 5 minutes to go. What happens to go now? Here's actually on a lap here. Alex Theodore into the pits. Luis Salgero, who's somehow managed to get into racing into F2 after being in F4 most of the season. He's not improving. However, what can Robert do here now? Well, there's going to get a bit of a block here from Hayden, but manages to get out of the way. As we have a weather update where it is dry now and track conditions have changed, where the soft compound tire may start coming on. Some insider information there from one of the teams. So basically all the runs up to this point have been pointless. Great if you want to learn the track in the wet, I suppose. So 3.5 minutes to go. Wee Robbie goes fastest, but as we said, the track's going to be rapidly drying up, so I expect everyone to run out of the pits. As Newman says, it's going to be a dry race. Edzak is out on those shiny red soft compound tires. And right behind him is Wee Robbie on the intermediates. So he's coming back into the pits ASAP. I'm not entirely sure what's happening here between these two. Very pedestrian-like. 2.5 minutes to go, and we see a Haas, a Williams, and a Ferrari all diving out of the pits. Callum coming to do his outlap just to confirm his setup. And now the whole field is going to start pouring out now. Wee Rabbie's going to have to be very quick here. He's going to have to get in, change the tyres and get out. Otherwise he's going to be starting back of the grid at that time, especially if it's under dry conditions. A dry pole lap should be in the 104s or 103s. Probably the low 104s, high 103s. As everyone's out in the soft tyres now. Just trying to find someone who's starting their lap. Well, Joe Harris, Nero True Streamer Boy, Minecraft Savant, he's going to be starting now his flying lap on the softs. The first of the soft runners to do so. As he goes into turn 1, braking points have now completely changed. Takes a lot of curve there, it's going to unsettle the car. On the long run down on the second DRS straight into the heaviest braking zone, which is turn 3. Very easy to lock up the car here. Takes that in first gear, takes a lot of curb again. Doesn't really make his own apex, to be honest with you. Still no DRS just yet. So if it does dry enough for that to be activated, that's going to be very, very interesting. As Alex Theodore is retired. Joe, again, taking a lot of curb into turn 4. Now we're in 5 we go. You have to be very careful on that inside curb in 6, otherwise you will lose the car. A bit of a curb of death in this game. Same here, to be very, very, very careful with the rotation of the tyres. As multiple drivers now setting around laps. As lost Zeman, God. I cannot find him. Oh, this is not good. Well, it's going to be a 111.099. What? No, it's not. And you're going to find someone starting a lap, as it looks like no one's actually going to really improve at the softs. And I think Robert Allen's going to get P1 here, unless as Mateusz Topolinski goes P2. Well, okay. So Newman's not on a lap. Edzek's retired from the session. Who can actually challenge for P1 here? I think that's it. Pierre is improving by 0.6, but that's not going to be enough unless he has a monster final sector. And Pierre Kakula does it! He goes P1! Wowee, the last driver to cross the line. And he nicks it right in the end. Pierre for his first pole position in ERO. Love it. Absolutely love it. That's hilarious. Let me try and get Zeman in one last time. Oh. And that's going to wrap up qualifying. And Pierre's going to nick it, then followed by Wee Rabbie, Robert Allen, Mateusz Topolinski will come in P3. Zeman Urantic, we're going to try and get back into the lobby ASAP as P4. Lucas, Joel, Samuel, Adam, Jedders, Wasik ran out the top 10. He's got a 5-place grip penalty. Mentelson, Alex, Leandro, Luis, Wille, Adam, Gustav, Hayden, Edzak, and Callum round out the rest of the grid. And it is dry in the race. I'm going to try and get... There we go. And Siemens managed to get back in. Everyone's just going to sort out their setups and strategies for the race. I'm looking like there's a cloud in the sky, so I'm assuming it's going to be a dry race. One, two, three, four, and we have 5 red lights for F2 round 9. And we are racing, and I don't know what that means. Everyone seems to get away okay so far, so good. No collisions just yet. As you see a Ferrari making a move in a V-car. As there's a bit of ghosting already happening, and drivers driving through each other. Joel and Newman getting past Sunq. It doesn't seem to be in his car just yet. Newman now and Joel Harris fighting further down the field. Mentelson and Alex Theodore fighting. Hayden and Edzak fighting. 2 Ferraris coming very, very close to each other in turn 3. There's a Haas who's ghosted as well. Mercedes is coming to contact with a V-car, but someone's just gone a mile off the road. It looks to be the Haas of Luis Saligero. So we see a lot of drivers who are ghosted for some reason here. And yes, Wasik has lapped the field somehow, and everyone is just driving through everybody here. There is indeed some kind of weird bug. As there will indeed be a restart. As Mendelson starts the retiring brigade. And I love this part, is that when people continue to race, come on, what is going on here? Another standard night in F2 as we have a restart. Right, so let's try this again now. And we're just going to have to get underway as soon as Gustav makes the grid. And I get the people who left back in because 3 people left the lobby. Who's in the Aston? There was someone else in the Haas. As we're just trying to grab the grid. Calais on a mad one. So apparently Kalle Pukkanen is currently he's currently being the engineer for Live now. So shout out to the Finnish goat, Mr. Kalle. Oh God. Oh God. Well. Well, it is what it is, boys. It is what it is. As we're finally going to get underway. Alex Theodore, we're waiting for you. Oh no, we're not waiting for Alex Theodore anymore. And it's sunny. Thank God for that. Now, everyone, remember your setups. Remember to... Alex Theodore is unintentionally the funniest and stupidest guy in the Euro. I'm just telling you all that now. I just have no words for it. Anyway, we're going to get back. Take two, F2, 5 red lights, and we are away in racing. Pierre Kakula leads us the way for the first time in his career, followed by Wee Robbie. Mateusz Topolinski already getting beside Robert. Newman and True Streamer Boy fighting as we see the kick go very wide there. Everyone seems to be relatively safe. A bit more ghosting, but no bugs this time. Mentelson getting past Alex, and so has Leandro. No chaos just yet. Everyone looks to be relatively okay. As we can see, are 4 wide into turn 3 here. The Aston there, Doggy Man making a bit of a lunge, and well, I say no chaos and then that happens. And you have a look at the positions here. Robert, after qualifying so well, is down 4 positions. As you see the 2 Ferraris getting very close there. And they're right beside Libnau. Libnau down to 17th. Okay, Mentelson all the way down to 20th after a very questionable dive by an Aston Martin. Pierre holding on to the lead as it stands. Mateusz up 1 position, Lucas up 2, Newman up 3, Jetters up 4, Wee Robbie down 4, Joel down 1, Leandro up 4, great start for him. Adam Bradshaw's down 1, Alex Theodore's up 1, Wasik after his 5 place group penalties up 4. Ville Magnussen up 2, Lord Percival, Mr. Gustav Schubert up 4, Louis Saligero down 1, Callum Lyons up 6 places. That's a great first lap from him as well. And he's got his teammate. I think it's the first time these 2 drivers have driven together. As you see, Lucas Jaraja going up to P2 now, and Pierre Kakula all the way down to P3. DRS really playing a big part here. And Callum's going to make a kind of a move here on Gustav. I'm not sure what exactly that was. An attempted move as Newman now up to P3, but he's going to go side by side with the Alpine of the Frenchman Pierre, and he's going to get the move done in the Mercedes. Lucas Safraniak not here tonight because he's a simp. What? Anyway, it's a Polish 1-2 at the moment, as we have the Red Bull of Lucas Jaraja and Mateusz Topolinski in the Kick Sauber in P1 and P2 respectively. Harry Jetters last in the lobby, but currently in P5. Champion-elect Leandro Verdade currently in P6 as Lucas does set the fastest lap of the race so far. DRS going to play a massive part in this. Incident. As Mr. Jetters has decided to rejoin the track in a safe manner. That brings everybody else up a position. Callum now up 8 places. That's great for him. And we're going to see Louis Saligero and Gustav Schubert getting involved here with each other into turn 3 as Zeman Ioannik is also in the mix there. He's down 12 places. A disastrous start for him in this race. Everyone electing for the mediums apart from Luis F4 and Libnau. And we see Luis F4. Oh, he's not given a lot of space there, is he, by Zeman? Mentelson recovering ever so slightly. He's up to 17th at the moment. Now, Lucas Jaraja, he's been in this position before. I think it was in F4 last season. And he unfortunately span out. Keep it on the track, Lucas. A win for you would be great to see. It's Callum and Joel fighting. Joel dropping down places now. He's dropped 2 now in the last 2 corners or so. Oh, he's got a 3-second time penalty. He's almost hit the wall. He's almost hit the back of Jetters. It's all going on there, and he's the first driver of the day to get a 3-second penalty, but he's rapidly gaining here with DRS. Everyone looking to make a move there on Wasik. Zeman getting past Gustav, and Ville up to P8 already. Adam and Leandro also fighting into turn 3 as Gold gets a 3-second penalty. Now Lucas, as he's the lead driver, if you can't pull away as the lead driver, you're going to go drop down to P3 if the 2 drivers got DRS behind you. That's just the way it goes. Lucas now going to go side by side with Newman. These two going to go through turn 4 together quite cleanly, no contact, very well done, space given between the 2 of them. And now Newman on his push for that cap. He has said he wanted it. You can tell I've eaten my dinner. I'm full of beans here. I'm just full of energy. And he's really pushing along here now. He's up to P2. He's probably going to take the lead now after the DRS zones. Matea's keeping the car within the white lines. No penalties there. Oh, no warnings there. That's very well done. Did a much bigger exit there because he just extended the track a bit more than Newman is. Joel gets another 3-second time penalty. And we're going to see Samuel make a move here into turn 3, I think, if he gets a decent exit. Here he comes. Gaining. Is it now or is it the next straight? Oh, out of nowhere comes Lucas Geraja. Well, here we go. There's a bit of a late send there by Lucas, and he's ruined Newman's plan. Newman was going to try and overtake Mateus, and we have to be very careful here because there could be a bit of contact. And was there contact there? These drivers have done very well not to come to blows yet. They've done very, very well. And Pierre Kakula, fair play to him, is holding on after starting in pole. Callum and Jetters now fighting. Callum up to P10. Ville and Wee Rabby fighting as well. Ville up to P7. Alex Theodore also getting in the mix as they go through turn 7 or 6, whatever it is. Hayden now a 3-second time penalty. He's decided 3 wasn't enough. He's going to have 6. Leandro Verdade, after starting by P12 or so, now he's up to P6. Metelson's up to P14. As Zeman now is the 4th driver of the day to get a 3-second time penalty. As Hayden has to come in and change. I'm assuming he's waiting because he's not on the hard tyres. Now Lucas overtaking Newman. Is he going to get the double overtake done here? It's definitely looking like it. They're going to go side by side in turn 3. Again, very clean racing from the top 3-4 drivers. Great to see here. The top 3 really putting on a show for us as Jared and Callum fighting. Mateus is going to get this position back with the 8 DRS. He's got the inside line. Space given and everything. This is great racing to watch. Now, it'll probably end in tears later on, but up to this point, you've had 6 very clean laps of racing so far. Lucas and Mateus still going side by side through all these corners. Fantastic stuff here, lads. Newman weighing in the wings here, and Mateus is probably going to be the one at risk once the DRS zones come up to it. And that's going to be a track limit warning there for Lucas. That has to be. Pierre just being tugged along by these drivers. He's just really been pulled on, trying to keep do his best to keep to the back of this train here. As Leandro now getting past Adam into turn 1, that puts him up to P5. And Adam's going to come right back at him with DRS here. And Lucas now up to P1 again, and him and Mateus are fighting in the same spot as before. A lot of back and forward here. As we just said, these two still fighting along. Newman now getting past Lucas as well. So it's usually the driver who's in P1 is... Well, that was close. Usually the drivers in P1 is the one at risk here because they obviously don't have DRS. And that everyone's just getting slipstream after slipstream behind. And that's why you can see why Pierre is just able to hang on to this this trio in front of him, because they're just all pulling each other along, getting the slipstream, and flying up with 3 DRS zones. It's a short track as well. It's only a minute 4, usually a minute 5, maybe a bit longer. So you know, it's a relatively short circuit compared to other ones like Spa and Singapore. As Adam Bradshaw gets another penalty and Joel gets another penalty. And we're into lap 8 of 36. Now Newman is up to P1. Still, again, this is very, very clean racing. It must be said from these three. Leandro and Adam, they're fighting. As Hayden has lost the car. Looks to be no safety car though, as we'll just see it now. But he lost the car there. I don't know how he lost it there, but anyway. No safety car for now, as Leandro just slightly touches the back of Adam's car there. No spins or anything just yet. However, Ville Magnussen and Alex Theodore and Callum Lyons all rapidly arriving on the scene. And we have a big DRS train forming here, as Ville is going to make the move into turn 8 there, or turn 9. Not the cleanest of moves, it must be said, but he still gets the job done. He's up to P6 now, and that gives Bradshaw a bit of a buffer, as Callum is gone, and that does indeed bring out the safety car. He's lost it similar to where George Russell did a few years ago. So, do the medium runners pit now? That is the question. Well, Harry Jetters has entered the pits. He's come out of the first set of hard tyres. Is anybody else going to pit? Doesn't look like it. Not just yet. This gives the top 4 even, just a little bit of a breather. And if you're Leandro Verdade, this really plays into your plan, because now the gap has really been bridged now. As we do see the top 3 all pitting. Top 7, top 8, top 9, top 10, 11, everyone pitting. Everyone coming in for the hard tyres. And the question is, what do the hard runners do? So Lib now decides to pit. And in a near clone of F3 last night, Luis F4, Luis Saligero, does not pit. As we see. So Lib now the only driver on the mediums now. His engineer is obviously giving him a strategy call that he's probably going to have to pit again at some point. Mediums can go about 16 or so laps. 16 to 20 laps, I'd say. So, but they're really going to be scrubbed by the end of lap 16. Hards can obviously go to oblivion, because on every track in this game the hards can literally do the whole race distance. As now Luis does decide to pit as well, so that's going to put him to the back of the grid. So we're into lap 11 of 36. Everyone's weaving to try and so everyone's trying to wave to warm up the tires, but that just doesn't happen in this game. Well, I'd say this will be the last lap of the safety car. Lovely shot here of the Austrian mountains in Spielberg. As we have a good few drivers in F1 that looks at this evening. I haven't gotten the notice the safety cars in here, or maybe I just missed it. Well, it does look like the safety car is in. Newman's going to get us underway, and it looks like he's already gone. And has he really gotten a gap there? Not really, between himself and Mateus. Oh, just over half a second, so it's not the worst restart I've ever seen in my life. And we are underway racing. And it looks like the McLaren there, Zeman, already trying to get the move done on Robert, who's in the Williams this evening. And up the hill they go. Side by side into turn 3. Zeman cleanly up to P8. Jetters and Libnow fighting. Mentelson and Weerabi fighting. Mentelson, who was down to P20 at one point, is all the way back up to P9. Now that safety car has really helped him as well. Himself and Leandro really benefiting from that. As Mateusz Tofolinski gets a 3-second time penalty, that's going to really derail his chances of winning this race. DRS now obviously enabled. He's going to have to build up a bit of a gap here. And as it stands now, it's probably a 2-horse race between Lucas and Samuel for the win in round 9 of F2, sorry. At this point, we just want to give a big shout out to our sponsor, who are Simulus Clothing, who are donating the prizes for this season. Adam Bradshaw, another 3-second time penalty. And now Libnow as well. Admins, past and present, all getting penalties here. And Lucas here with DRS, not able to make a move. Mateus has gone up to P1, but just for now, because the DRS train is really going to help here. Look at this double slipstream here. Lucas getting such a toe. Going to go around the outside there. And did Mateus ghost there for a second? Like he did, must have lost control of the car. Now it's Newman and Lucas, and even Mateus doesn't even have DRS here. And now Adam Bradshaw and Ville Magnusson going side by side here through turn 6. Everything's been kept relatively clean here. No skullduggery so far into this race. Good stuff, lads. As Lucas now setting the fastest lap of the race with a 106.4, and he's setting the pace now. There's a yellow flag in sector 3 that we can't see for what that's for. Newman and Lucas have broken away from Mateus, however, because they're fighting. Let him right back into it. So the majority of the field now with time penalties as Wasik picks up a few seconds. Gustav and Weerabi fighting, as we see the top 3 just keeping to themselves at the moment. Ville almost in touching distance, as we've got 21 laps to go here. Pierre sticking closely to the back of Adam Bradshaw here. Even a tiny bit more further away than he is. Pearson in the purple sector too, so he's got some good pace at this point in the race. And almost a mad snap of oversteer there. The car just, or understeer, sorry, and the car just drifts away from the apex. And Leandro, who was showing such good pace at one point, he's now all the way down to P10, so he must have had a wobble or something. And further up the field, we're going to see Lucas and Newman swapping positions again. And Matea's making contact with the back of Newman's car there. Hopefully he doesn't have wing damage from that. Leandro and Gustav fighting into turn 3. Leandro getting the move done. Robert and Harry now fighting as well. Now into turn 4. The top two yet again going side by side. Very, very clean from these three. Even though there was a bit of contact in turn previous, still very, very good stuff. And with these three just fighting and changing positions with DRS, and not really like, they're not combating too much with each other. It helps them pull away from the chasing pack, and this is only music to the ears of Mateusz Tofaninski. As there's another yellow flag in sector 2, and it looks like Wee Rabbi has come off. Lib now up to P13 and those medium tyres. Everyone's a Lib now fan, aren't they? It's very hard to hate Lib now, even if he doesn't like peppercorn sauces. Ville Magnussen now with a 3-second time penalty. And we see Newman and Lucas again swapping positions into turn 3 as Wee Rabbi is gone. That is his evening done. He's retired in the pits. We're down to 17 now. Libna and Wasik, who had a bit of a run-in in qualifying. Wasik had one of the worst blocks we've seen in a while in the ERO on Libna. They swap positions. Ville and Adam fighting now into turn 4, all the way up to 5, now into 6. These two going side by side. Yeah, again, very, very clean stuff here this evening. Everyone giving space, everyone being considerate of one another. It's lovely. What is this? This isn't the ERO, I know. It's good stuff. Now we're approaching halfway distance in this race. Mateus and Newman now fighting up the field. Joe gets another 3-second time penalty. I'm scared to check how many he has at this point. Now it looks like the rest of the pack are actually starting to catch up with the top 3. As we're going to see Mateus go in the inside of turn 3 here. It's going to be interesting to see who's got DRS out of these two. It is Mateus, so Lucas is going to be a risk here. He's probably going to lose 1 or 2 positions. And he's definitely lost 1. Is he going to lose 2? Doesn't look like it's a bit of a lock up there, but that's okay. And Lucas actually gets a much better exit on turn 4 and manages to keep the position and keep the lead of the race, more importantly. For now Ville Magnussen is within DRS of Newman. He's going to be joining this party. So is Zeman, so is Adam. So a large DRS train forming from P1 all the way down to P8. Again, the top 3 just inverting positions now. Zeman, though, getting past Ville. And Lucas now dropping into P2, but yet again, he gets a good exit. Does he have DRS? Yes, he does. It's a horrible camera angle. And this is all about patience here. This is all about being calm and collected here. As Mateus is giving a lot of space. This is very, very clean stuff here. Zeman leading the way with Ville behind and the rest to be the best of the rest. And the top 8 still within DRS of each other. No one setting a foot wrong at this point. Harry Jeter is going to have to get a move on if he wants to catch up, as he's got Leandro Verdade on his back. As Mateus gets another 3-second time penalty. It's a bit of a disaster for him. Now, where are we up to here now? As we see Gustav driving through jetters. Pierre had a great start of the race. He's all the way down to P8, unfortunately for him. As we said, though, his first pole position in ERO. Well done to you, sir. Is Leandro now up to P10? He's going to want to get a move on as Mendelssohn's gained quite a few positions there, and he's up to P5. Ville at risk, though, outside of DRS, needs to get a move on. Alex Theodore with another 3-second time penalty. And Pierre Capula now getting past Adam Bradshaw. Adam's in a wall, unfortunately for him. He must have had a bad exit out of turn 1, and he's gonna lose a lot of positions here. Adam dropping all the way to the back of the grid. As Mateus now, still every time these guys get very close to hitting each other, no one makes contact. I think I've seen one load of contact this whole race between the top three. Alex Theodore and Gustav Schubert fighting for P9. Leandro up to P8. He's cutting through the field on his charge to get back up to the top here. 15 laps to go. As Mateus now again hunting down Lucas Newman, also in the mix here. These three very, very close. They've been racing all evening against each other here now. And just like that, again, up into turn 3, Mateus making the move, back up to P1. He's a bit of a wobble there, though, and he automatically ghosts. And that's going to bring Newman right back into the mix. I think it's the second time Mateus has a big wobble out of turn 3. And is Newman going to make the move for the race lead? He's not. He's a bit of a lock-up there as well. Ville, Magnussen and Mendelssohn fighting now for P5 and P4 respectively. Adam Bradshaw a 10-second penalty. His evening is done. He's off to F1. As our fourth retiree of the race. Unfortunately for them. As we already have a report as well as Callum has reported. Alex Theodore. Poor Alex Theodore. That's Ville and Mendelssohn still fighting side by side here. Very, very clean stuff from these drivers today. And Zeman also here, so we've got a little trio here, and then we have a trio in front of them. Mendelssohn now with a 3-second time penalty. It's going to be unfortunate for him. Now let's have a look at the penalty, shall we? So Mateus with 6, Ville, Powell, Zeman, Harry, Libnow all with 3. Wasik and Alex and Mateus with 6, and then Joe with 12. Oh God! Well, that's what it is. And now Newman taking the lead of the race. I think this is the first bit of contact we've seen all race long between these two. And that's going to let Mateus come back into the lead. Mateus straight away back onto the racing line. Lucas taking a lot of curve there in turn 4, doing his best to avoid Newman, and they keep going safely and smoothly along the way. However, Ville Magnussen now in the other Mercedes stealing right into the mix now as a result of that. So It is what it is. Now, can Ville charge on? As it stands, it's still Lucas and Newman who are fighting for the win here due to the penalty of Mateus. He's got 6 seconds there. Remember here, Newman really being aggressive into turn 1 there. Really throwing the car into it as Leandro Verdade now with a 3-second time penalty. Unfortunately for him. And it's back up to P1 for Mr. Juraja. However, Mr. Topolinski comes straight back at him with the ADA DRS. But Lucas is going to get a good exit here. Oh! Oh, well, that's very disappointing for Lucas. That's going to bring him all the way down to P11. And now it's really Newman's race to lose. Very disappointing stuff there. So as it stands at the moment, I think Pierre will be close to getting a podium here, if not P2. Edzak up to P13. These are a relatively quiet race, nothing really happening there. As we've got 10 laps to go, and Ville Magnussen has taken the lead of this race. So it's a Mercedes 1-2 at the moment. And this is a great race for Newman because as it stands, he's going to get P1 unless any madness happens between now and the end of the race, which is definitely possible. And Leandro is going to get P8. So, big madness here. If that's the case, it's going to really put a spanner in the works of the Verdade celebrations for his championship. And Newman's going to be the driver at risk now from the drivers behind, as he does not have DRS, and they do. So he's going to be very careful here, because they're going to be swarming at him in the next straight. As you see, Mateus just very close there, almost making contact at the back of his car. You see Ville also there closely behind, as Jetters and Pierre now are fighting. And here comes Mateus on the outside of turn 4. Kind of hanging around there. This is where he recently just killed Lucas. No such activity this time. And Mateus is all the way down to P4. He's mowing the grass, unfortunately for him. So, another one bites the dust now, and that brings us to a completely different top 3. So Newman's, in fairness to Newman, he's really navigated this race very well to avoid the chaos. Joel with another 3-second delay. Now Newman does seem to be holding off Ville. Luis Salguero with a 3-second penalty now. Only a few drivers now without a penalty. Jardy. As Joe into the pits, and he's retired. The latest victim. We've had 5 retirees so far. Mendelson now is also in the mix now. He's going to be charging on. So the top 2 really hoping to make some big point gains this evening against the Portuguese driver in the kick, Sauber. He's been leading the way all season long. He's been very consistent, even from round 1 in Silverstone. As now Ville with another 3-second time penalty. That's no good for him. Alex Theodore with another one just for kicks. We're going to see Powell now. Is he going to make a move for the lead here? That's the question. Doesn't look like he is. as Alex Theodore now retires from the session. So another one bites the dust now. 6 drivers gone so far. Alex Theodore has declined my invitation to drive an F1. That is amazing. Anyway, Mendelssohn hunting down Newman here. The question is, if Pavel can get past him, can he build that gap necessary to get the win? That is the main thing here. Now, a lot of the overtaking today has been done into turn 3 as Wasik gets another 3-second time penalty. And Mendelssohn thinks about it for a second, then backs out. And the top 3 very, very close to each other here. You've really got to trust your teammates. You know, or not teammates. You've really got to trust your opponents. Sorry, that they're not going to go into the back of you. As Zeman now, good recovery from him after a bit of a disappointing start. I think he dropped in 12 positions. Now, as we enter into the last few laps of this race, and it's still the familiar face at the front. As Libnow is gone, what has happened here? He's retired in the pits. Mr. Adam Hurtosh has gone to bigger and better things in his eyes. Still doesn't like peppercorn sauce on his steak, which is kind of wild. But anyway. As Newman now just seems to be holding the lead here. He's been doing quite a good job of fending off Pavel, even with DRS. He's gaining and gaining. Speaking of Pavel, though, he's going to take the lead of the race just for now. As there's a big wobble there, Newman does well to avoid him, and that's going to compromise him to Ville behind. Yet again, Newman holding position here just for a few more laps anyway, at least. As Samuel really challenging his inner chi here just to kind of keep calm and not mess this up. This is a big race for him. He's had 2 wins so far this season. Can he have a third? Can he win it? This will be a third of the race. What? A third of the races? If he does this. Is it getting dark or cloudy? No, it's not. Never mind. Further down the field, Pierre Capula and Lucas. Lucas who's leading this race for a large stint of it. We've got a feel for him. He was in such good pace. He just seems to be stuck in the middle of the dredges now. But now Mendelssohn coming right back at him here. Further down the field, Gustav getting very close to the back of Lucas. And that's really it. The race beginning to settle down ever so slightly as we hear to end towards the last third of the, or last 10% of the race. Ville Magnussen looking to make a push here, but I don't think it's going to make all that much of a difference. I think the top 3 has already been set. Let me just double check that with the penalties. Yeah, pretty much, unless something drastically happens between now and the end of the race. Villa really getting early on the throttle there. Leandro now up to P4. Great recovery drive from him. But here comes Zeman right back at him. Zeman's going to have DRS, and I'm assuming. Yeah, and he's going to sail on by, or at least he should. The Polishman back up to P4. Leandro also having a very stellar recovery drive here after a poor qualifying session. Jetters in P6. Pierre in P7 after being on pole position here. As we enter into lap 35 of 36, 2 laps to go. Mendelssohn still chasing Samuel Newman, and I think the top 3 are just going to be holding position at this point here. No one's going to be doing anything crazy. Well, you'd assume no one's doing anything crazy. No, because the penalties and everything else, there's just no need for it. That's Pierre now, still fighting with Leandro. Leandro was up to P5 at one point, almost P4. He's all the way down to P7 now. A lot can change in just one sector. Top 3 remain unchanged. Gustav having a decent enough drive here on those 25 lap old hards. Everyone pitted under the safety car, and that's been the story of today. That was the big deciding moment of today. And here we see it as we enter into the final lap here. Newman being hounded by Pavel behind him. Mettelson's going to overtake him here into turn 3, but it's not really going to make much of a difference unless he can pull out some major gap. All Newman has to do is keep the car on the road. That's all he has to do. Nothing more, nothing less. Zeman and Harry fighting further down the field for P4 on the track. Leandro waiting to get into this battle here. He's got back up to P6. As we're going to see it here, as they go through sector 2, Newman has to be very careful not to hit Mendelssohn now. He'll be disgusted if he loses in this race at this point. As Villa right behind him. As they're going through turn 9 for the last time. And through turn 10, no penalties. Mendelssohn's going to cross the line P1, but it's going to be Samuel Newman who wins this race. Leandro Valverde and Mateus with penalties at the end there. Ville Magnussen in his return to ERO is going to get a podium. Very good to him, very good for him. Pierre Kakula, after starting P1, will finish P4 just outside the podium position. Great race from him there, must be said. Fantastic stuff. Harry Jetters P5, Zeman Uyanek P6, Lucas Jurajo with a hard end in P7. Leandro Verdade in P8, that's going to put a bit of a dent in his title aspirations, so he's still in the driver's seat there. Gustav Schubert going to finish in P9, Ed Zak P10, Mateusz Tompoliski will finish P11, but I'm not sure what's happened there. And then Luis Saligero will finish in P13. F1 is on right now. Tune in, I'm going to be driving, Libna is already driving. And just to round out, before stewarding, we have Samuel Newman with his third win of the season, Paolo Mischek in P2, and Ville Magnussen P3. That rounds out our podiums. Finishers: Pekka Kula, Harry Jetters, Zeman Uranek, Lucas Ziraja, Leandro Verdade, Gustav Schuber, and Edzak round out the top 10. Wasik, Luis, Mateus, Libnau, Alex, Joel, Adam, Robert, Callum, and Hayden round out the rest of the grid. Just gonna get the race director for whoever needs it. My mind, there was quite a few instances, wasn't there? F2 is on right now. Have a lovely weekend if we don't see you on the stream, and take care.